Hi, my name is Ariel Bowman. I'm so pleased to have my piece included in this year's Workhouse Arts Center 10th Annual Clay International Exhibition. I'm a ceramic sculptor. I currently live and work in the Dallas, Texas area, and I also teach ceramics here. I'm videotaping this in my studio, which I share with my mom, who's also a ceramic artist. My dad is an artist as well, and this was a big influence on me because he restores antique furniture, and he specializes in French 18th century furniture, and that has really influenced a lot of the ceramic furniture and the aesthetics and Rococo style in my pieces. The goal of my work is really to use prehistoric animals to bridge the gap between science and art. So my piece in the show is actually from a series that I created in 2019 called The Timekeepers. And this was a series of mantle clocks that each feature prehistoric creatures. They're actually inspired by Louis XIV mantle clocks, which featured a lot of exotic animals like lions and rhinos, and they were given to nobility who were close to the king as a gift. And I was really interested in these objects and how beautiful they were, and I wanted to replace those exotic creatures with some prehistoric ones. In my work, I really love the contrast of extinct creatures and human history, and each of my series sort of puts these prehistoric animals in a different context, interacting with human history in some way. And my favorite time period has been the 18th century, and that's my favorite aesthetic to use. And this is really because at this time, we definitely thought humans were the center of the universe. And then just a few years later, in the 19th century, late 1800s, we discovered the first fossils. And those really caused us to start questioning our place in nature as a species, started getting us thinking about evolution, and also questioning our understanding of time in general. How could something be millions of years old? And that's really what my work is about, combining these prehistoric animals with the time period of the 18th century to create this contrast and ask questions. And so the animal featured here is called Astrapitherium, and this is a prehistoric hippo-like creature that sort of looks like someone combined an elephant and a tapir and gave it some really weird tusks. And these existed in South America about 21 to 15 million years ago. So I tend to pick animals that have very strange features. Those are the ones that I'm most drawn to. And I think it's just because they're the most unknown and strange looking to people. They make people the most curious. And then the clocks in all of these pieces are ticking backwards. If you look closely at the second hand, it's actually going in the wrong direction. And this is to reference the past that these animals come from, and also that confusion that happens when people realize that the clock is ticking backwards is meant to sort of connect to that idea that we don't really understand deep time and millions of years, that we find it confusing, that it raises questions. And that's really what I wanted these pieces to do. And so the process that I use generally in my work is called comparative anatomy. And this is the first process that all paleo artists or people reconstructing extinct creatures used. And this means that I'm looking at the fossil evidence of this animal and then comparing the anatomy with modern day living creatures that have similar anatomy. And this helps me create a really believable, accurate, realistic reconstruction. And I create these pieces by using solid clay on an armature and carving away at it until the animal form sort of appears. And then I cut the piece into sections, hollow it all out, and then reassemble it so that it can be fired and glazed. I really love connecting people with these lesser known prehistoric animals. I think that it creates this sort of spark of childlike joy and curiosity that makes people reconnect with their sense of wonder in the natural world. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you're able to find out more about the exhibition. You can go to Workhouse Arts Center at www.workhousearts.org. Thanks so much.